Welcome to today's video. As of recording of this Tuesday, August 26, 2025, we have a new Sega Genesis controller, but there's a catch. Also, a little update with Capcom. Some big games coming. Gonna run to the mall. Got a little bit of a lead on some new collectibles. It never stops. You sleep on it and you miss it. You miss out. Also wearing a mic now, so please let me know if there's any audio issues, kind of deciding where I'm going to place this. And there might be times where I'll be in the car and I'll grab for the camera quick, and I might not have the mic on, but for the most part, when we're standing in front of the camera, when we're in a store, whatnot, I will be wearing a mic. Definitely will be mic'd up, if you heard that term before. Rush hour. It's going to be an interesting drive to the mall. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of cars out today. Also, current temperature 69 degrees. Actually feels a lot cooler than that. Kind of debated, should I go home and put some lawn sleeves on, but I'm just gonna chance it. I'm gonna wear a t-shirt as long as I can. It's just before 5 o'clock. High of 70 today. So the craziest thing just happened. On my way here, the freeway is totally at a dead stop. So going a certain direction is not gonna happen tonight. And I went to reach for the camera, just wanted to get a shot of the freeway, knowing that I need to have the mic. And I just stated that I would sometimes, you know, when that happens, I would get the shot. I grabbed the mic, because it's just, you know, with the seatbelt on, it slid out of my hand, fell in between the seats. It took me about 10 minutes to find it because I left the magnetic piece on there and it was actually underneath my passenger car seat. I'm like, where? Sound like Luke Skywalker. Where could he be? Where could the mic be? Holy cow, was that a fiasco? So the mic is gonna be, I gotta get used to this. That I cut my hand trying to dig for. You know, when you get in between your car seats, like you're digging down. That was not pleasant at all. Going into Hobby Lobby. I got this text from GameStop yesterday going, hey, these are here. And that's why I was going to the other location. The next Super Friend McFarlane wave is hitting stores. They had the Flash, Toyman, and Captain Cold. So I'm not going to be able to make it there tonight. There's no way. Every direction I went was just a dead stop. So yeah, car was on fire on my way home, and it just got worse. So unfortunately not going to happen tonight. Actually, with my other camera, walking into Hobby Lobby, usually get that yellow tints. This is the first time I believe we've been to Hobby Lobby. Might have came here Saturday night, I can't remember, but nonetheless, it doesn't pick up the yellow tint anywhere. All right, we have a new Sega Genesis controller coming. Nice shot of Sonic right here. Might get into an article about some 90s gaming also. Lego leak reveals upcoming Sega Genesis controller set that money can't buy. So with Lego releasing the Game Boy set next month for roughly, I think it was $60, there's a Sega Genesis controller coming out in September. The Genesis controller intro Lego for one of its September free gifts. It's a smaller set at 260 pieces, partly because it will be a gift with purchase, meaning we cannot go out and buy this. We can buy the Game Boy, but unfortunately not the Genesis controller. That means you will get the Lego controller for free should you meet certain requirements. And those requirements are spending $130. Now, you know, you're not really getting the Genesis controller for free, but if it was me, I guess I would find something and spend the $160 or $130, basically getting the Sega controller. Like it's a win-win or a lose-lose situation, but we can't go out and just say, okay, I'm gonna buy the Genesis controller. You spend $130, you get it for free. So you've heard the term money can't buy me love. Money cannot buy the Sega Genesis controller. You can get it for free with spending $130 on other Lego. There is a shot of that leaked image. It will be available September 8th with purchases of 130 or more. It does look really cool. Like, I mean, it's awesome that, you know, we're getting the Game Boy in Lego form and now the Genesis controller. It's just, we can't necessarily purchase this. In a way you can. You just got to find something else to spend 130 on, which isn't hard with Lego. You know, it is, they are pricey, but yeah, that is the, that's the render. And for the record, I am having a hot mess with this microphone. I think, you know, in fall, in winter, it'll be great when I'm wearing a jacket. But wearing a t-shirt, it's, the camera just kind of just doing what it wants. The t-shirt, it's all over the place. So usually when I'm at home and I wear a receiver, a mic, you know, you know, if I'm doing a review or something, you can't tell like how it's just like falling all over the place. It's gonna be falling all over the place here. There is a 50% off on home decor, March wall decor, all week. So they didn't have it last week. It's back this week at Hobby Lobby. Also, there was the 90% sale for the Spring Shop. See what they have. Seems like the Spring Shop has sold out. There was a little bit left on Saturday, Friday or Saturday. There isn't even an aisle left for Spring Shop here. So it's just the 50% off. One day, I promise, I will get that right. This thing's just, I won't make a big stink out of this. It's getting used to it. I did a review on this yesterday and it worked out perfect. The voice, and I'm sure the voice will come through. It's just this thing's like dangling all over. And the reason I didn't have it on, again, in the car was because of the seat belt. But going forward, when I'm doing a video, I'm just gonna leave it on. I'm not gonna chance it. I'm probably gonna pick up a second one. So there was one that came with this creator kit. And I do wanna get to something a little later in the video about my thoughts so far with this camera. This is, I think, the third video that I've done with this camera. So eventually, it should be just like the back of your hand, right? Getting used to it. I want to get into something about 90s gaming that I came across today. And I thought, you know what? Since we were talking a little bit of Game Boy, a little bit of Sega, the controller, talk a little bit about 90s nostalgia for gaming.
Please call extension 15, Crystal.
A nostalgic look at video games in the 90s. And what, you know, caught my eye was, of course, The Wizard. You can see Fred Savage right there. Great movie. The Battle of the Titans, Sega versus Nintendo. And still today, even though they're on a lot of games, they're, you know, even on the Switch, sharing FaceTime, kind of the battle of Legos, aren't they? You know, with the Game Boy coming out, and then of course the Genesis controller. So yeah, I thought, you know, just kind of adding these would be fun. Iconic characters we all fell in love with. Bunch of ads, of course. The birth of 3D gaming, a new dimension. There's something I'm getting to, and it's going to be right here. I wanted to say it before we got the arcade experience, coins, crowds, and competition, and of course, they're using the best of the best. Arcade 1-Up. They get it. Finally, an article that gets us. Popular genres, of course, from platformers to puzzle games. The soundtracks that defined a generation. My dad used to make me mute games like Dr. Mario, or you're just, you know, the constant, like, repetitious music. I'd have to play a lot of games in silent. Did anyone else have to, like, turn off the sounds when you were playing? Multiplayer madness, couch co-op, and competitive play. And I think that's the whole thing that inspires me on playing online. Because, you know, going over to my friend's house and we're all playing Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, you know, on that Friday night, that Saturday night, that's what it is. And I wasn't into like Xbox Live or, you know, online with PlayStation when it was available originally, but now the fact that I'm not going over, sleeping over at a friend's house, it just kind of brings me back. And I think that's what it is with me, why I want to do as much online as I can. The advent of handheld gaming, Game Boy, and beyond. The influence of pop culture on 90s video games, exactly. This was the first time that I saw Super Mario 3. Super Mario 3. It was in this movie, and we all knew it was coming. At the end of the movie, they're all playing competition. I'll never forget that. How special that was. Groundbreaking graphics, pixels to polygons. The role of video game magazines, tips, tricks, and hype. Never forget that. We'd all get those magazines. Along with remember the Wizard magazine? Like you can, check out all the action figures. It was that. It was of course, Nintendo Power. The Power Glove. I'll never forget the Power Glove. It didn't work well at all, but it was the Power Glove. Never forget when I got that for Christmas. Cult favorites and hidden gems games you might have missed. The evolution of gaming, narrative, storytelling in the 90s, kind of like a Disney ride. There's like a theme, there's a plot to every one of them. The lasting legacy of 90s video games. Now, since the 50% off, I have something in my hand. I can't show it because it's a present for very, very soon, a birthday present, and I don't want to miss out on this 50%. I'm not sure if it's going to be next week also. So I have something, and I'm going to pick it up. When I came here over the weekend, they didn't have it for sale. So I said, okay, if they have it, I absolutely need to get it because I'm about a week out. So I do have something in my other hand that I'm going to check out with. And this is everything left for the 90%. This spot right here is the spring shop. Finally, I got it right. I don't know why I want to like go this way when I'm trying to go up. It's like if I'm looking up, it's almost like turning this into like a joystick, if you will. So if I want to look at that baseball diamond and I want to zoom in, I can do that. All right, we got something from Hobby Lobby for a change. It's been a while. I think the last thing I've actually purchased was the N64 controller. So this is a gift, and what a great deal. I'm always getting chased by like a fly or a bee now. Must be the new camera. 50% off. The 90% is great, but there wasn't much left, but there was still some stuff. I mean, it's hard to believe like something is 90% off, isn't it? It's Spirit Halloween. And I don't know if it's GameStop across the board, it's coming from corporate, but Labor Day, they are open 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So just throwing it out there. Okay, check this out. They have them in Waukesha. So I was gonna go to the mall, and actually at the mall they had the Flash, and they had Toyman, and Captain Cold. So these are just showing up at GameStop. So something really cool about Toyman is he comes with a mini Superman. There's a little transmitter there. That is awesome. I don't know if Target or Walmart is gonna get these, but I mean, right away, but GameStop, this is 2 in the area that is getting them. Now I don't see a chase here, but I'll examine these. It's still the same backing, and then on the bottom they have went up a little bit. I think they were $19.99 originally, and now they're $22.99. Unless you're a pro, it's $21.84. Captain Cold. Look at Captain Cold. That is so cool. Comes with his red gun, the transmitter, and then everything on the back is going to be the same. I wonder when we're going to get Shazam and the Flash, and you can see that his logo is all yellow. There's no white circle behind the lightning bolt, and I saw that the earlier renders of this. Pretty cool. Oh, Mayfair GameStop has Captain Cold, the Flash, and Toyman. Same here in Waukesha. They have Superman. Now I was probably gonna pick up. They were holding the 3. I was probably gonna grab him. Just gonna get Superman for right now. I don't want to. They pretty much have. I'm trying to think here. There's the Chase. There is the evil Superman, and I believe it's a Cheetah. Maybe it's Cheetah and the evil Superman are the Chase, but I'm gonna get Superman. This is awesome. There's part of me that wants to just grab them all, but I'm gonna hold off. I picked up the Punisher a few days ago, bought him right here. That, remember that was $59.99. This is $21.22 with the Pro membership. So I think I'm just gonna keep the chase fun and just kind of stay at it for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna start off with Superman. So Superman comes with the old ball and chain kryptonite. Love the blue on here. And he's smiling. I'm never gonna open this. Absolutely nailed it with that blue. So yeah, I'm gonna grab Superman. There's a part of me that wants to get the Flash, of course, Toyman with the mini Superman figure, but I think I'm just gonna hold off for a little bit and see what we find in other stores. Not saying I don't want to buy them all at GameStop. I just want to get them all right now. It's kind of fun just kind of going into a store and being surprised like I was with these. I had no idea these were here. Now I can tell you that there is, I'm trying to see if I can get in there. There is a yellow S. Like that's as close as that is right there, is the yellow S. So I think that's very important when it comes to Superman. Not all of them have it, and it's just not Superman without that yellow S. Azrael is back. They had him, and somebody bought it, and another one has surfaced again. So it's good to see that there's a part of me that I have the blue one. This would kind of complete it. The reason I want this is because of that comic, that image. This is I have this comic. It was cool. The whole Nightfall, Superboy. But yeah, I'm gonna leave with Superman. I think I'm just gonna get the one. And still offering the 40% on the Marvel McFarlane statues. They still have the Green Goblin here. I was thinking about this when I was doing the Punisher review. That I don't know if I'd open this one. You have that platinum sticker on there. It looks awesome in the box. Something with the Punisher is he looks so much better outside of the package. When I was looking at the images online, I'm gonna kind of go for anything Punisher like I do for Superman. He looked incredible when I did the review. September 24th is going to be a big day for Capcom fans at the Tokyo Game Show 2025. It is set to kick off September 25th in Japan, and Capcom has announced a strong lineup at what is being said as the biggest convention ever. Along with catching everyone's attention with the new Resident Evil game, the Juggernaut developer has grown a slate of games for fans to enjoy and look forward to, including new releases in its beloved Monster Hunter franchise, and audiences to get a closer look at some of these games at the TGS 2025. Here is a list of the Capcom games coming to Tokyo Game Show 2025. Tokyo Game Show 2025 runs from September 25th to the 28th, with Capcom welcoming industry personnel and general attendees for the duration of the convention. And Capcom just brings up the Punisher game to me. I was just playing it last night. I've grown to really love Capcom. I was always kind of a Konami fanboy until getting a lot of the arcade. When I was playing a lot of this stuff on the Switch, going, Capcom might have everybody else beat. So very exciting that there's 7 new titles coming. But yeah, the Punisher, one of the best beat 'em ups, and yeah, it's from Capcom. Still got to find Cheetah and the evil Superman. That's probably going to go down to the wire. So starting off with the best, obviously, with Superman. They have removed the fencing. They're done with the revamp, with the construction over here at Target. Still doing a little bit of stuff over here, but yeah, for the most part, they are finished. My first ever Super Friends Superman. You gotta figure that the original Kenner were the Superpowers team, right? I mean, that's why they said Superpowers. So never had Super Friends Superman until now, Mr. Fox. Super Fox. Do you think that they made less Madden 26 for the Switch? There's a lot of targets. I'm kind of keeping my eye on Target because that's where I have my Target money that don't have Madden 26 for Switch, but they have it for PlayStation 5, they have it for Xbox. And look, right next to each other, actually. Do you think they made more PlayStation 5 and Xbox than they did Switch? Because they're sold out here. And I'm sure that they're gonna restock. It's not like they're not gonna have any more Madden anywhere, but it's interesting that a lot of the targets, and because, especially for tonight, because I couldn't really venture out as freely as I usually could because of the horrible traffic situation with a car that was on fire and just going east in any direction was backed up. So it just kind of threw that out the window, but it worked out because when we went to that GameStop, they had more of the Super Friends than Mayfair. But there was a Madden 26 that direction too, so have to be another night. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll get Madden 26 soon. I forgot to say there was a deal where it was like 3 for $60 with games at GameStop. And just seeing this, buy 2 get 1 free on the Funko Pop figure. And yeah, there's not a lot left here. There's some of the Fantastic Four, some Superman, but it's been picked over. I am glad that I didn't get back into the next wave for Batman the Animated Series, because, you know, being on the Super Friends chase, I'd rather get into that than do another collector build with Batman the Animated Series. So I think it's like Highlander. It can only be one, and stating that, I'm not going to pick up everything, but when it comes to the Super Friends, I think I'm going to go for all 5 or 6. However many there are, I'm gonna try to find them all. The new hunt into the Super Friends, and they don't have them here yet, but GameStop has them. I want to thank everybody for watching. Trying to get this all right. It's taking me a little bit, but I think from the start of it, let's just say Saturday night, a little bit better. Got used to doing this with a review, and then 2 basically walk and talks. I'm gonna kind of move over here. Get in the hang of it. I do want to say that the more I use this, and let's say that there's, for some weird reason, I have to go back to the old camera, it's gonna feel weird now because now I'm getting used to this. And I think that pretty much everything except live streaming, I can use this camera for. Having the mic, I was making sure I still had it there, oh my gosh. I think I should have a backup camera. So my goal in the next month, maybe 2 months, save a little bit and pick up a backup, grab another microphone, because what happened tonight, I probably lost about 30 minutes trying to figure that out. So it was a hot mess, but it's a learning curve. It's something completely different. I started off with wearing a mic doing videos, and then I haven't done this for like 2.5 years. I have, the camera I used had its own mic. Works a little bit better than this one, so because of that, we'll be wearing this. But yeah, just getting used to things, but gonna have to pick up a backup camera just to be safe. Also, I wanted to end with this. Have you ever seen the movie The Core? I don't know, it was early 2000s, maybe late 90s. I think it was Eric Eckhart. He was Two-Face in the Dark Knight trilogy, the Dark Knight. And then Hilary Swank, who was Karate Kid, the next Karate Kid, they survived at the end. Every time the movie is on, I miss the very ending. Anyone that's seen that movie, do they make it off of the ship? Do they survive? Everyone else, spoiler alert, I know this movie's like 20 to 30 years old. No one else makes it. Did they make it? I need to know this, because every time it's on, I always miss the end. And something that I want to get into in the review, there's going to be a review, but it's going to be a fun review. It's not going to be anything like, you know, I don't know, I just want to do something different. It'll be goofy. But I want to talk about why having a second one of these is important to me. I've seen other people's take on why you should have a second one, and it has something to do with that. Also, there's something that, you know, when I turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, you just have that in your mind. Like, I'm not going to leave this flipped the entire time I'm doing the video. The battery will burn out. I have not put the extender on yet, but it concerns me that, you know, it does something, and I'll show it in the review. That's why I want to pick up, you know, a backup. I think it's crucial. Thanks for watching. Where are we going? Where are we going, West? West, he is so excited. Kelly just said it's National Dog Day. Wasn't showing up on my. Sometimes I don't see that when I look up on the calendars. All right, we got Lee's with Mr. West. We're getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. Gonna make this a quick little pit stop here. I got a twist cone. Kelly got a sundae, and West has his vanilla. I'll see you guys next time. It's the end of summer, West. Make it count. West, you're funny. Get his bow tie. The hot dog bow tie. Hot dog and hamburgers.
Well done.